you like money? You want to save a ton of it on your bicycle maintenance? Well, stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, it's the bike season again. I mean, not that I'm not riding my bike in the winter, but right now spring is here. There's still ice around us, but it's minimal. It's going away by the day. And it's time to get the bikes back in shape, make sure they're going to be okay for the whole summer. And first thing I noticed on my bike is that the chain is worn out. And in order to change the chain, I also have to change the freewheel, which is also, well, I'm not going to say the freewheel is worn out, but I'll show you what the problem is. There's one sprocket that I keep using the most. When I'm riding the bike in the city, I don't shift all that much. I usually go back and forth between the mid-range and the high range. And on the back, it's always on this sprocket, or most of the time. So this wears out a lot faster than the rest of the freewheel. Do you want to change the whole freewheel for that? Well, apparently individual sprockets are not available. You cannot buy them anywhere, so you kind of have no choice. They're not that expensive. Usually 18-20 bucks used to buy the freewheel, even with the granny gear. What I got here, this is a 7-speed one. Unfortunately, my bike needs a 6-speed one unless I want to convert it, which I don't really want to do. So I guess I could rip this one off and get the, what is it, 17 or 18 teeth. Trying to see this here. Yeah, this one's got 18 teeth. Could just take it off of the other one, and more than likely it'll fit on my freewheel. But you know, the 7-speed one is not for my bike. It's for Barbara's bike. So, and yeah, let's inspect her stuff before we do this, because I might as well just work on her bike while I'm working on mine, put everything together so it works, and then perhaps her old freewheel might have something on there that might do for my old one, so I don't have to buy another one. Because I tell you, the 6-speed ones with the 34 tooth granny gear, for some reason I can't find them here now. I found one on Amazon that comes from the United States, so there's import fees, there's extra shipping on there and all that. So by the time I get it here, it's probably almost 50 bucks for one little sprocket. Nah, not if I can help it, so let's find out. So I'm looking at Barbara's old freewheel. Usually the one that I wear out is the 1, 2, 3, the third one. See this one here? Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. Let's see what it says when I check it with the caliper. But see, that's about a 3mm cog. So what we're looking at right now, that's my old freewheel. As you can see, the number 3 sprocket that has only 2mm of width on those teeth there, which is definitely worn out. So I should be able to use that sprocket on my old freewheel and be okay for the whole summer with the new chain. That's what I'm going to try to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to put all the new parts on Barbara's bike, so she'll have a new chain and a new freewheel. I think that's fair. So just in case you're wondering, this is a freewheel tool. This is what I use to unscrew the freewheel from the wheel, along with that big adjustable wrench that I jump on. If you have a bench with a vise, you can put this into the vise and then yank the wheel like that, you know, using it for leverage. I don't have that kind of bench, so the big adjustable wrench is perfect for it. So these freewheels have never been particularly high dollar items. That's why I never bothered finding out how to take them apart, and I actually just found out that I can actually take them apart and that the sprockets are just screwed on. And well, in order to do that, normally you would need 2 chain whips or a bench with a tool or something like that and a chain whip, neither of which I have, but I found a way to take this apart, and it's pretty easy actually, and I'll show you. Alright, in order to pull this off, I got this kind of stool here that I made. Anyways, I got some screws in here already. This one is obviously bent from a previous experiment. Yeah, this or maybe ever get it. So basically what I gotta do is screw my freewheel to this bench here. I don't know if you can see this really well, but I think you get the idea. There, that's pretty good there. Take a screw in here. I'm just fixing it in place so that I can unscrew the first sprocket. Once I got that, the rest is really easy. Now my big issue here is that I don't have a chain whip. What I'm supposed to do is use the chain whip to unscrew the first sprocket. Now without the chain whip, I can still find a way. Let me show you. How about I call this my chain whip? It's a leftover piece of chain and a pair of vice grips. It's worked twice already. There we go, it worked again. Now this outer sprocket just unscrews, and then the other ones, they'll come off real easy. So now you see how to unscrew the outer sprocket. After that's undone, you can just lift off the rest of them, and then I can swap out my worn out one. And I'll be cleaning this up, and I'll show you when I got it all nicely clean and organized, so we'll put it back together. Okay, I have cleaned this up. This is my freewheel that came off my bike. It's now in top shape, but before I put it back on the bike, I wanted to show you how this actually comes apart. It's much nicer to show this with a clean freewheel. See, this is the part I unscrewed with the chain whip, and it just unscrews counterclockwise like you normally would. Really simple. See, now it came off a bit faster than I intended it to, but for the first one, the spacer and the sprocket is one piece. Then underneath that sprocket there's a spacer. Then there's another sprocket. This is actually the one that I exchanged because it was worn out. Now I got a very good one here. There's a spacer. The last 3 come off as one unit, and the actual freewheel is nothing else, nothing more than this. There's a ratcheting mechanism inside there. See, when I turn this, goes one way, the other side it locks. That's how simple this is. This is the one that I changed, and I'm confident that this is gonna last me all summer, maybe even next year. Yeah, before I put this back together, I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what this looks like. on the left side you see my worn out sprocket, and on the right one you see the one that came off of Barbara's bike, which is almost like new. So here I am with my new old Freewheel. To tighten this, I just held it on the table and I used the same chain whip that I used to unscrew it, but it doesn't have to be super tight, because as you're pedaling, this tightens itself basically. Just put it snug, it's good enough. Now I can install this on my bike and I'm good to go. So there you go. Don't throw those old Freewheels out. Keep them, because everybody rides their bike slightly different, has different habits when it comes to shifting, whether they're good or bad. But chances are that when one wears out, then there are still a whole bunch of sprockets on that Freewheel that are still good and that you might be able to use on someone else's bike. Hope you like this video. If you find it useful, give it a thumbs up, and hey, I need more subscribers and you're perfect. So thank you for that.